H, just the G thing. What's up, guys? How are you? Today, I will be talking about forgiveness and the power of letting go. Yes, the power of letting go. Yeah. I wanted to talk about this because I feel as though like a lot of people have hard times forgiving and letting go of like certain issues, especially women. Women have a hard time of letting something go or forgiving, in a sense. Fellas, you ever dated somebody or your girl ever is like, remember when you did this and remember when you did that, and you're just thinking to yourself like, is this shorty talking about something from 4 years ago? Yes. Yes. Women have such a hard time letting things go. At least I do. I can't speak for every woman, but at least I know that I have such a hard time letting anything and everything go. I have no idea why I'm like that, but it's just so hard for me to just let it go. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm learning. I'm getting my meditate on. I'm getting my raw on. So hopefully that helps me let go of a lot of things. I just feel as though like forgiveness is really important. It's really an essential key to living life, because this is our only one life to live. So why would you want to spend it being mad or being upset about something when you can just live life and let it go? But yeah, I feel as though like forgiveness for ourselves is really good. And also forgiving others too, because people forget that you know, we're human. Like, we're gonna make mistakes. It's inevitable. We're gonna mess up at a certain point of our life, and it's just gonna get really tricky at one point. But us being that we are such forgiving beings, we have to let go of like certain stuff. And me, I feel as though why I can't let go of anything is just because I'm afraid to get hurt again, and I'm afraid to go through the same situation twice, and I'm afraid to go through anything that I've been through in the past just again. And I can't have, well, whoever else shares that fear, you can't have that fear. Like, it's gonna happen. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen regardless you forgive, regardless if you don't forgive. So what's the point of not forgiving? And you know, I've done a lot of things in my past that till this day is just so hard to forgive and to move on from, but I'm trying. Like, one scenario that I want to bring to you guys was I shared an experience my freshman year. Just got fresh out of high school, just moved out from home. I'm staying on campus. I'm meeting all these new people, and I'm still pretty young-minded, mind you. In high school, the only thing that I really did was run and go home. That's it. I didn't go to no parties. I didn't do no dating. I didn't do nothing. None of that. I mean, that was pretty much my life for like 4 years. Just running and school. That's it. And I got to college, you know, I'm just ready to experience new stuff. I'm ready to get my groove on. I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to do all these fun stuff. And, you know, being that I was like 18 at the time, my mindset wasn't really fully matured. So I met this cool group of girls and hit it off bat. We were all cool, all chilling. And one girl, I'm going to call her Sam, that I that was like a friend of mine, and we're still friends to this day. We had gotten into a little altercation over a boy at a boy that today doesn't even really matter. We can give two shits about, but at the time it's such a big deal. She had hung out with this boy, and they hung out once, but they never really did anything. Just was chilling, and and she never said anything about it again. So me and that boy actually had class together, and we just started vibing and hitting it off. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal for me to start talking to him because at the time it was already like long after she hung out with him and she never talked about him again. So I didn't think it was really a big deal that I hung out with him and then I started feeling him. And when I let her know, she was just like, oh, I could tell that she was feeling some type of way. But at the time I didn't understand why she was feeling some type of way. So it just kind of built up tension between us and between the group and started dividing the group, honestly. And long story short, we ended up actually getting into a fight, not only about that situation, but about built up tension as well. And we got into an altercation twice, and it was just a whole lot of tension. Like, I didn't understand where she was coming from and she didn't understand where I was coming from. And at the time, like, I didn't know I was wrong until over time, until I started looking more towards me as opposed to the other person, because it does take two. For most situations, it does take two. Like, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, it does take two. So I look back at myself and I was just like, yo, I was so stupid. Like, I can't believe, like, I hurt somebody like this, and I was so selfish. And I was just really disappointed in myself. Until this day, I'm still disappointed in myself, because I'm usually such a selfless person that I wouldn't really do anything to really hurt anybody. But like I said before, we're all humans and people mess up, and I'm so glad that she was able, to forgive me, and we were able to move on from that. And I'm also glad that I got to take that as a lesson and apply it to my life. Like, you gotta think more wiser when you start making certain actions. Now, talking about making wiser moves, I just got out of a relationship. Not a pretty long one, but the connection for me felt long. I had liked this boy since our sophomore year of high school. It's like 6-7 years now. And I never told him anything. He was a handsome, chocolate little football player. Never told him anything. I guess the reason why I never told him anything was because back in college, I was a really bitchy person, and I just hated people because high school was not shit for me. So I didn't think he would really like a person like me because I was so mean. So we always remained friends, or whatever. Until recently, around Thanksgiving, we actually hit it off. We didn't actually hit it off, but we were talking, and he was just like, yo, I can come pick you up from school, whatever, and take you home for Thanksgiving break. Mind you, his school's like 20-25 minutes away from my school. So he comes and picks me up, and it's like high school all over again. Like, we're just chilling, just vibing, just talking, and it was so cool. And fast forward, we actually hit it off, and we actually started dating, and the relationship overall was a good relationship. I was extremely happy, and I believe he was happy as well. It was just a lot of good vibes, and we were just helping each other grow individually and together, which was really rare to find. But we also did have our little altercations. I'm not gonna say it was just me, because it was him as well, because it does take two. But most of the time it was kind of me bugging, but which is pretty understandable because of certain, ordeals that I've dealt with. I have a hard trust issues, but he was a pretty good sport about it. Him himself too, he wasn't made perfect. He had his issues as well, and I embraced them the best way that I can. Long story short, after I got into my car accident, I just felt as though he wasn't there for me, and he wasn't providing as much support as I need. Mind you, 2 days I felt that. Like, I got into a car accident Friday, and then we got into a huge fight on Sunday. And it was just because I just felt like he wasn't, texting me, like, to make sure if I was okay. I barely spoke to him for those 2 days. Mind you, my wrist is like, like hanging there, like, save me, save me. And I'm just like by myself. And the one person that I really like was looking forward to asking me if I'm okay wasn't doing it. And I could understand why he didn't do it. He said that, he was working and stuff like that, which I understand. I'm not gonna stand in the way of making money, but he could have still, like, text me just to see how I was feeling, all that. So me being in the emotional state that I am, that I can't even drive and my wrist is hanging off its limb, I'm going off. I call him and I'm just like, you're not there. Like, you haven't called me. I'm over here sad and in pain and you don't even know that. And he's like, what are you talking about? I've been working. You're bugging. And I'm just like, I know you've been working, but damn, you could still call me to see how I'm feeling. And I don't know, that day, I guess I was just so, like, sad, and I was just so, like, depressed about that car accident and everything in between that. I just went off, and I was just like, you know what? It's over. Like, I'm breaking up with you. I'm done. And I broke up with him. I deleted our pictures off of social media. Like, I was just really in my bag. And you can clearly see that I was in my bag. And he was just like, you know what, you're angry and I'm going to give you some space. And I was like, if you give me some space, I'm never going to talk to you again. And he gave me space, all right. He gave me space. Oh my gosh. So, we ended up really, like, breaking up. And I was such, like, even though we weren't together that long, he brought so much of, like, a peace of mind and a little bit of happiness towards me, to me, that I haven't felt in so long. It just was really sad. But I learned a valuable lesson from that relationship. It just taught me that, girl, you can't give up. Like, you have to, like, keep fighting. Even if things get hard, like, you have to keep fighting, and you have to just take it day by day. Like, not everyone's gonna take you back, and not sorry isn't always gonna fix everything, So I guess that I understand where he was coming from, but females gonna be females. I definitely took that relationship into a whole new light, and I'm grateful for, like, the experience that we shared together, and hopefully I can grow from this and move on and just be as bad as I can be. 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 But yeah. So guys, you please try to, like, forgive yourself. Most importantly, forgive yourself. Let go of any hurt, any burden that you choose to carry. You heard what I said, that you choose to carry. Please, just let it go. Like, life is too short to be sad. Life is too short to be mad. Life is too short to be anything but happy. Like, you have to forgive yourself and understand that you're human, and the people around you are also human, and they're gonna mess up. That's inevitable. They're gonna mess up, but you just have to make sure that they're worth it. They're worth the mess up. Not everybody is worth the mess up. Those people that are not worth the mess up, you cut out your life and you move on and you live more prosperously than they ever will. But the people that are worth the mess up, then you forgive them. You forgive them and you love them and you give them a chance to grow. That's it. That's it. You just give the person a chance to grow and a chance to learn from their mistakes, so that when they come back to you, it's easier. And you give yourself a chance to grow as well, and you forgive yourself as well. Mess ups are going to happen. Just make sure they're worth it.